Stephanie and Dustin back. Last year, we made these cement pumpkins out of plastic jack-o'-lanterns. They've held up really well over the past year, including making a move on a moving truck across country. So this year, we've decided to add to our fall decor with a new project.
So today, we're going to try and make pumpkins out of basically some of our scrap 4x4s. So we don't have to get much material. We did get 7/8 inch dowel rod, which we'll show you that'll end up being the stem. But this is a pretty simple project as far as the tools you need. We've got our miter saw. You'll need, just for the dowel itself, you'll need some spade bits, and you want a drill or an impact gun. Got the tape measure and speed square, and we're pretty much there. We are going to try and make some 45s with the miter saw along the length of the pumpkins. So we'll see how that goes. You could also use a router or a table saw for that. So just stick with us. We'll try it out, and then you guys will get to see the finished product. So with this pumpkin project, we're going to have 3 different sizes. So I'm going to pick out the scrap 4x4 that works the best for us. And we're looking at an 18-inch tall one, a 12-inch, and maybe a 6 or an 8-inch one. So let's get started.
Okay, so this is part of our scrap wood pile that we've just collected over the years from various projects. When I came across this idea, the best part was Dustin said we already had most of what we needed.
So I'm trying to decide if I want to just cut down our measurements a little bit and use this scrap piece, which we have about 29.5 inches on that one, or I hold on to all of my scrap wood as strong as possible, but maybe I'll just cut one of these larger ones. Do you want me to go ahead and do the sizes we had adjust, or you want me to go ahead and do the sizes we had talked about?
Will you show me what it looks like on one of them?
So
the tall size.
Yeah, so what we had talked about was an 18-inch and then a 12-inch. So it'd be there. And then, so we would use like 36, with the blade cut. It's probably going to be about 36.25, 36.5.
We put a little mark at the 18-inch. What do you think, Mason? I think that's pretty good for the tall one.
So stick with that?
Yeah, let's do that. So show me the smallest one. What size does that look like on the board? Might be. Do you think that's too small, the 5-inch?
We're gonna do 3 different pumpkins, one at 18 inches, one at 12, and we're gonna do our last one at 8. So I'm just gonna mark it out. That's the fun thing about this project. You don't have to be dead on, but I just give myself a little mark. I'll go ahead and make the first cut. And I'm going to go ahead and cut all the sizes before we individually work on them. So the next one, looking at 12. And then I might as well mark out my other one. So it'll be about 20. Make sure you wear your safety gear.
You don't have safety glasses on.
Yeah, I forgot them.
So like always, after Dustin made the first cuts, I decided I wanted it different than what we talked about. So looking at the 3 of them stacked together here, I think the top one, or the tallest one, is just a little too tall. When we have the stem on it, I just want them to look a little closer in height. So he's going to end up taking this one down.
I'm going to take this one down to 14 inches instead of the 18. We're going to go ahead and see what that looks like. See if we want to actually cut it down more, and the middle size one, but it's a lot easier to take some off. You can't put that wood back on there, so we're going to go ahead and start with cutting this one down. Now I'm going to go ahead and just cut some 45s on here. For a more polished look, you could leave them like this. Like I said, you could also use a router table, or actually a table saw.
And we're kind of going for, this one kind of naturally has it happening. We're kind of going for a little bit curved edge look, so it has a little bit rounded look like a pumpkin instead of
The hard
square.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that on here, but kind of these
And the nice thing
bended
is,
corners.
just like a pumpkin, these don't have to be perfect. Because of these cuts, I would advise this would be much easier on a table saw or with a router. And being totally transparent, I just don't feel like getting them out for this project. But it is safer to slide this along with a guide on your table saw or with a router. That's really nice. You can make exactly what you want, slide it along here. But just a little helpful tip, if you have the tools, might be a good time to use them. So on this project, we chose 7/8 inch dowel rod. Yours could be a little bit larger diameter or smaller, it's totally up to you. And because once again, this project does not require perfection in your detail, sometimes whatever you're drilling in, you want to put a stop on your bits so you know that all the holes are the exact same depth. But on this one, we can go ahead and have, actually, it's kind of neat to have different size stems. So I'm just going to get a spade bit and go ahead and cut that out. What we'll do is do one test one. I always suggest doing that at the same diameter as our dowel rod, and then we're just going to make sure that fits, it's not loose. We're just actually going to use wood glue in there. But now I'm going to use my center point.
You want me to hold the board?
Nope, I will. Okay, so I should cut my safety glasses on for that. Okay, so now this is where you can choose the length of your stem. For example, just a rough estimate on our concrete pumpkins, we've got 2.5 inch stem. Like for these, Stephanie, would you like me to be using different lengths? And like I said, I'm not going to have the same exact depth either.
Well, so then, I mean, if you do different depths and different size stems, you're doing the same thing twice.
But they'll be close. They'll be close. So just give me an idea of what you want.
Right here.
Okay. So that's about 2.5 above, and let's see. Hold up for a second, please. And I'm about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut these at just over 3 inches, and we'll get this. The first thing we want to do is, like I had said, we did the first one, making sure both the diameter of the hole that we're happy with, but also to make sure that the depth we're happy with. So before you put wood glue in there, make sure you're happy with it. The more, though, I will warn you, if I drive this all the way in and then pull it out, then eventually this stem is going to be a lot more loose. You're hoping to knock that down in there one time. But Stephanie, like looking at this right now,
It's too tall.
so I'll be able to drive it down about 1/2 inch, and it's still too tall. So
No, I think that would be good.
It's going to be we might not want each one to be the same height.
Yeah, maybe slightly smaller for the, well, so keep that one, you know,
Okay.
we'll use that for a bigger one, and then go just slightly smaller on this one.
So I went ahead and cut it down to 2.5 inches, and I do think that Stephanie is right. I think that once I just drive that down a little bit, if anything, this still might be a little tall in my opinion. Are you going to be okay with it?
I think that will be okay.
Okay.
And now we have it on video that you said I was right, so keep that for playback.
So, one thing with the wood glue is tops get stuck. You want to make sure that this is not just sitting on the bottom, but if you can, get it around the edges also. You could also put it on your dowel rod. So make sure that dowel rod is seated in there.
It is crooked, which I actually like the look of.
It's definitely crooked.
Is that?
I'm perfectly
will
okay
it dry
with
well?
I might have drilled at an angle. I didn't think that I drilled it that much of an angle, but if you're okay with that,
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
tight. That's going to, with the wood glue, this is going to be really stable. So I'll go ahead and start on this next one, and then we'll get an idea of if we're happy with the length of this dowel rod. Think you're gonna be happy with that?
I don't know. I gotta see them all together.
I mean, I can cut these off even once they're seated.
Yeah, we
It's
put
not
them by
ideal.
each other. I think it's too tall.
I agree. Save that for that one. So I did 2.5. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 3/4 on this one. I like this dowel rod. It's handy for a bunch of projects, whether you're doing alterations to your closet and you just want to have more places to hang your clothes, a bunch of different things. Obviously, it's nice for these arts and crafts kind of projects as well. So this is the first stage. We haven't got them painted or anything, but as you can see, this is a simple 15-minute throw together with some scrap wood. We did buy the dowel rod new, but it's a kind of fun project because on most things, especially my personality, I want to be anal and everything down, you know, to the 16th of an inch. Here, it just simply get it close and actually have it a little not perfect because that's how pumpkins are. So hopefully as we finish up the project, you guys like the end product.
Okay, the day has come. We've let the stems dry with the wood glue, and now I'm going to work on getting these painted. So the ones I had found online has kind of like a brown outline on each of the pumpkins, and then obviously they're painted orange. So we have some just pumpkin orange paint, and then I also have a few different colors to mix in, a different orange, a red, a green, and a white, just to make some different variations. We'll see how that works. I'm gonna start though with, instead of using brown paint for the edges, I'm gonna use a dark walnut stain. Just really like dark stain. So we're gonna see how that goes. If it doesn't work out, we'll just cover it up. So here we go. Because we're doing this as a cheaper project, a lot of this paint we already have. I bought a little bit of the craft paint, and I'm just gonna dip a little paper towel in the stain and use that instead of using a brush or a stain sponge or anything like that. Just keep it simple. And I'm just going to do the edges of each of the pumpkins and then right along the top as well. I'm probably just going to do one coat because I'm impatient, and we started this project a few weeks ago, to be honest, and just got busy and haven't finished it, and now it's getting closer to Halloween, so I just would like to get these pumpkins up for display. Okay, I'm not worrying too much about what it looks like because we're just going to paint over the rest of it. Oh, and I'm going to do actually the stem also. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, so I'm just gonna let the stain set up for a little bit. I'm honestly probably gonna end up putting a little more on the stems just because I like them a little darker, but I don't know, maybe we'll add a little green to it too for a pumpkin, more legit pumpkin feel. So I'm gonna get the stain put away, let these sit for a bit, and then we'll come back with the paint. Okay, so the pumpkins have had a little bit of time for the stain to dry, so I'm just gonna start experimenting with the paint and see how it goes and what colors we like. Okay, before I do the other ones, I'm probably gonna go grab just like a little art brush instead of this big one to do the top, just to have a little better control over where I'm going with it. But because this is just a simple project, we're not worried about perfect. We're just going for fun and good enough. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm pretty happy with it, how it's turning out. I do want to add some green on the stem. I was talking with my daughters about it while the stem was drying, and pumpkin stems usually, they're starting to brown a little when you make a jack-o'-lantern, but it usually has green on it. So I think I'm gonna add a little green to it. I thought I was gonna try and play with some of the red, add a little into the orange, get some different variations of orange, but I kind of like the way the wood is showing through it too, so we may play around with that on the next one. Okay, the pumpkins are done. Okay, so here's the finished product. I added a second coat of paint to the orange. I know I originally said I liked the darker color, but my family voted that they wanted it brighter. So we put a second coat on it and then just added some twine. It's
probably sorry, neither of us can talk. Polypropylene
twine to the tops and just kind of spread it out to give it like a fluffier hay kind of look. You could use ribbon or whatever you wanted around the top. Another thing you could do if you wanted is on the back side of the pumpkin, paint a jack-o'-lantern face. That way you can have them out September, November as pumpkins, and when it's Halloween time, you can switch it over to the jack-o'-lantern face. We may add that in later, but I decided not to do that for now.
And I really liked it. She added the second coat. I think it brightens it up, and it was a fun, quick process. Did it in stages. I'm gonna guess if we'd have done it, like total time invested, what would you say? 45 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, just waiting for the paint and stuff to dry, but
Yeah,
this would have been it could have been a really quick project.
yeah. I really like how Stephanie finished off the stems with the dowel rods, and just everything came out nice, and I think it's a fun little project.
Yeah, so we're gonna get them set up for Halloween now. And if you want to see another fun pumpkin project, you can see when we make concrete pumpkins.